Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to A Fan's Eye View. I'm Justin along with Sam. Sam, how have you been since the last episode?
Yeah, I've been pretty good.
I,
Last
I
episode
gotta
was
say,
pretty
dude,
good.
I do notice a lack of a jersey behind you. What's up with that?
Yeah, I did disclaimer. It wasn't in the short, or if you didn't, don't remember what happened in the video. I did say I would unbox it or unpackage it on stream. Unfortunately, the website I got it from might be sketch, might not be sketch. We'll find out when I get the jersey. I think I did get an update on the tracking and all that stuff. So it's coming from New Jersey. So it took like 3 days to confirm that it was even purchased or something like that. So don't worry, the Nas Reed jersey, it's on its way. We're gonna package it on stream. Hopefully, next episode, 100%. We'll have Nas Reed on my back. We'll have him on my wall. We'll have him on my front. Whatever. Nas Reed will be here, one way or the other.
Should have
So
ordered it from one of those like sketchy Chinese websites or something
yeah,
like
like
that.
what
Those
Gate DH or whatever the heck that was.
KDH, yeah,
Yeah.
those usually pull through. I have a handful from those.
Well, yeah, you got the Prince
Um,
one that's like hot
yeah,
pink. It's like the Miami
yeah,
one.
it's not the best, but hey, nobody knows now because those jerseys are made. So it's like maybe I'm the right one and they're all wrong. You never know.
I don't know.
Speaking of right and wrong, not the best segue, but the Timberwolves had a lot go wrong so far in the summer league. They are 1-4. Very few bright spots on that team right now. How big of concern do you think summer league struggles are, Sam?
I mean, it's summer league. Look at it like spring training in baseball. It's a lot of like some of the guys on your main squad are going to be playing, but like they're like Wendell Moore was like the only guy I think on the team who was from last year's squad that was playing in summer league. So it's just a bunch of young
I think
guys.
Minot. I think
Might
Minot.
not too. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he had a pretty good game. I think 5 of 10 in one of the games or something. But it's summer league. It's a bunch of young guys. Maybe we don't have the best like farm system or minor league system, G League, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we don't have the best young prospect group around us. But most of those guys aren't gonna have a spot on the starting roster anyways. So I don't think it's anything to be too concerned over. Some guys, some teams are going to be better than others because they have a better younger core, like OKC. That if you like, what didn't Trey Mann or Terrence Mann was his name? I think it's Trey Mann or whatever. I think
Yeah,
he was
some of
playing
them been
OKC.
playing.
Those guys are going to dominate those younger guys,
Yeah.
especially with the year or two in the NBA already. So I don't know. I don't think it's too concerning.
While I'm not super concerned, I will say the way they've been losing is a little disconcerting. A lot of blowouts, and I know the coaching staff isn't the same. I don't know exactly who's head coaching the Wolves in the summer league. I haven't quite checked out a lot of their games. But I think the guys are still like members of the coaching staff for the Wolves. I don't think it's like a random Joe they just picked up. So the fact they're getting blown out a lot in the summer league can be a little concerning. Coaches like that, it could be a problem with the because we've seen the Timberwolves have not had the best staff for many years now, the best system
Yeah.
or ideology in place. So hopefully the summer league is not indicative of that because I don't want to watch more Twins or Timberwolves, stinkers when they play against bad teams and
Well,
they can't
yeah,
even beat
the
them.
coaching's never been consistent in general. Isn't Finch like
No
number two, like all time, like wins by
wins,
a
I'm pretty
coach?
sure,
Like,
and he's got like 70 or something like that. So,
yeah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So it's like coaching hasn't been very consistent since Saunders died
yeah.
or
Uh,
left first, then died, I think. So
yeah. And then you mentioned earlier that some of the guys, won't be on the roster. Is there anyone you think will be part of the roster or have significant playing time off this
significant
summer
playing
league?
time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a bit different. Like I could see Wendell Moore and Josh Minot maybe getting back their deep rotation within the bench. Maybe they come
Mhm.
off like in the fourth if we're blowing out a team or if we're getting blown out really bad. Um, I mean, there's just we with the signings that we did with Shake Milton, we got Na coming back. I mean, we have like a whole other starting five already coming off the bench, or not starting five. We have like a whole other five guys that could come off the bench and get decent playing time while the starters rest. So I don't like even if Wendell Moore and Josh Minot get their spots back on the roster, I don't even know if I see them getting that much playing time. And then we even got
You don't think
like
Minot
Garza.
with the loss of Torian Prince, you don't think Minot will maybe see some more
No,
playing time?
I
Do you
think
think that
Shake
goes through
Milton
the
kind of takes over that position of Torian Prince a bit more, and maybe like he even covers like the Jalen Noel a little bit as well. Is no, I don't think
who do you think the
Noel's.
backup point guard will be?
That's a good question. I like. McLaughlin really struggled on that last half of the season, especially in playoffs too, in the
I
play-in.
don't
I
think we
mean,
brought Noel back either. So
no, I don't think Noah's
I'm
back
not
as
sure.
well. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Milton's kind of replacement, and then we took the guy from the Lakers. Is it Troy Brown Jr. or something like that?
Yeah,
I
Trent
think
Brown maybe. I
Trent.
think
Yeah,
he's a small forward though, right? He's a forward of a sort.
yeah.
Well,
So
Minot is too, so that's why I don't know if he's going to be competing with him or if they felt confident in Minot to not resign Prince. That was kind of the thought that I saw a lot from people that were familiar with the scene was, hey, they believe in Minot. This is the guy they have faith in. So that's one guy I think could have an impact on the team or play a significant amount. The other one, kind of the surprise of the summer league, drawing some comparisons to your favorite Nas Reed, is Miller. He's a forward who is a big hustler guy. He gets a lot of rebounds. He's a NBA ready rebounder from what I've seen and heard. He's fully ready to get in there, get those boards. High energy guy. He can shoot. He played in the G League last year, like before he got drafted. So this is a guy who has played against pros already. So a little surprising he wasn't drafted. I think he averaged like 18 points. He played
yep.
on the same team as Snoop or the Blazers
Scoot.
rookie Scoot. Yeah, they play on
Anderson.
that guy's team, I believe, in the G League. So maybe a little overshadowed. Maybe that's why he got passed up so much.
Maybe.
But
Yeah, he averaged 18 and 11. I think it was as a 6'10",
yeah,
6'9"
and
small
he
forward.
can shoot from three, not particularly well. I think he's low 30s, like 31 or something like
Yeah, he
that. So
barely. I think he
play.
barely hits that 30 threshold.
It's not the best, but I mean, he's played well in the summer league so far. He's averaged around that 16-point mark with 8 rebounds. So that's a guy I think. Well, the Timberwolves should sign him. Whether he plays a lot is up to debate because he is obviously a rookie. He doesn't have a lot of experience. But I think they should sign him to at least a two-way to maintain his the rights to his. Because if they don't, somebody will sign this guy and he will play eventually in the league. So I don't know why the Timberwolves wouldn't sign him. They have him right now. You might as well make sure he stays on the team. So those are a couple of guys that I think could have a big impact. But yeah, I'm not concerned about the summer league. It's a summer league. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's really anything to be concerned about. I mean, like it's a completely different team that'll be starting when the season rolls back around. There's no Edwards out in G League or in the summer league games, and there's some teams out there that like that probably will be their team going into the next season. I mean, like the Spurs, maybe a little bit of OKC as well. There's a few guys. The Rockets.
Speaking of the Spurs, this is kind of something I saw. Wemby only played 2 summer league games.
They shut him down.
Do you think that was a good call, right call? Don't really care. Don't think it matters in his development.
It's weird because like I'm guessing his nerves got to him or something in that first game because he played like dog. He did not play good whatsoever. And he knew it too. He could admit it. I think he knew that. Maybe he
didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he said he had no idea what he's doing on the floor. And the next game, I mean, he went crazy. He did really freaking good. And then I don't know. Maybe they saw the spark in him. They're like, "Yep, that's it. We know this guy is going to be good, and we don't want to risk him any longer. We saw what he can do in summer league. We're going to shut him down just to keep him safe." So it's kind of interesting. He has been playing against like grown men for a while now over in Europe. So, I mean, it's kind of like the similar thing with our guy who's been playing down the G League. He's been playing pros. This guy's been playing grown men. So he knows what it's like to face these big, strong guys. And a lot of guys like Luka and now Wemby as well, they both said that when playing in Europe, it was a tougher league to play in. Or like tougher to score in, at least. And it's a lot less physical here. So everyone says that, like, Wemby's like got to beef up. He's got to get lean. He's got to build up that strength.
Yeah, Baby Davis was talking trash, saying like he would work him down low, and I'm like, settle down.
Yeah, right. So
calm down.
I think he knows how he's gonna like play in the NBA in the league. I think he knows the physicality that will be brought. So I don't know. Maybe the Spurs just they saw it once, and that's all they needed to see. And they obviously all scouts and like just everyone. The Twitter universe, Instagram universe, literally everyone on social media,
Twitter scouts,
everyone on on the internet has been talking about this guy for like the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. So I think everyone's seen enough of him at this point. Even the Spurs are like, yeah, let's just shut this guy down for the rest of the summer league, not risk anything. And like, even though like he's been like he has a really crazy like training and like workout pregame rituals that he does to keep his legs and his feet really strong because of how skinny he is. So I'm assuming that's going to transfer over to the NBA as well because they're going to be super, super crazy about keeping this guy
they'll
healthy.
Probably give him a bit their own training regimen because obviously they pay people to find out like, the best way to do things and how to handle stuff like that. So he probably will get on a little bit of a different training regimen than when he's had overseas. But some players have their own things like to do too. I mean, they have like their own private chefs and stuff. Like we saw, LeBron has done stuff like that for many years now, where he does his own kind of thing. You did mention that some of the teams will be very different, which leads me to our next sport/topic. I was kind of thinking the Twins are a team that might need to look a little different coming up here soon. So I figured we would start by talking about the Twins the second half. What we want to see from them. And do you have a trade idea in your head? Preferably a semi-realistic one, but like, do you think it could happen for the Twins, and what would make them better, and just why it would make them better?
Well, obviously, we don't need more pitching. For once,
Yeah.
As a Twins
Shockingly.
fan, we can say, wow, we don't need more pitching. So hitting is obviously something that the Twins are struggling with. Their batting average as a team is like 220, 225. It's not very good. And we need someone who can hit the ball well. And there's not a lot of positions that we can like maybe fill out that I feel comfortable with changing that guy out. There's two positions I would maybe feel comfortable with. I could see us getting rid of Max Kepler out in right. And the spot that I think maybe we would benefit the most from is catcher. And so I think that with Kansas City being not a very good team, along with the rest of the teams, honestly, in the
I
Central,
see where this is going.
I think you pick up Salvador Perez. I don't know. Like I think we could offer a pretty good package for Salvi, but it's a matter of, does Kansas City want to let him go? I really don't know if I see them doing it, but like, I feel like it could benefit them. We could send them a few prospects. We got a few prospects that we could send over there that we've been, cooking up down in the farm system for quite a while. And it would benefit us in hitting. And it's really hard, especially to find some of these hitters when Buxton is taking up the DH spot, which really,
I think he went over today too. So last I saw, he was
he's batting just over 200 as well. He's almost down in the buck 90s. So it's hard with Buxton batting the DH to pick up another random guy who's just good. Like, we can't just go out and get a Nelson Cruz like we did years ago, because where's Nelson Cruz going to play? Nowhere. And we're not putting Buxton in center again. So Buxton's taking up that DH spot. So it makes
I don't know why they don't just play Buxton in like left or right field or something like that.
Yeah, and just say, hey, no diving into walls.
Don't run into the wall.
Like, you can give up.
Target Field has almost no foul ground territory over there, so just don't make a diving play.
Yeah, right.
Just let it.
So
be fine.
Salvi, and like maybe not even like trading someone for like maybe Kepler or something like that, because like we got the guy like Matt Wallner, who seems like he's competent with his hitting. We got Julian, who seems pretty competent with his hitting as well. So there's two guys that could come up and maybe make an impact on the offensive side. But catching, Jeffers is okay. And Vasquez, that's his name, Vasquez. Yeah, I don't know. They're both okay hitters.
Produce. Yeah. I miss Garver. I miss Mitch Garver.
They wouldn't produce nearly to the impact that Salvador Perez would. And
does Garver even play for the Rangers?
Garver?
John Heim is the guy, right?
Yeah, right. So is Garver really DHing? Maybe DHing. I don't know what's going on with the Rangers over there.
The Rangers,
but I think
Corey Seager is gonna have an MVP season stolen away from him because Shohei Ohtani is that good of a baseball player. But
yeah, Shohei does.
I think Seager's hitting like 330 with like 15 home runs, almost 50 RBIs, and like but Shohei is just that good of a player. A package I had in mind originally. Now I had this thought for a while. I think I mentioned to you before too. I was thinking they should go for Nolan Arenado or Goldschmidt, one of those two guys. Goldschmidt was kind of the top there. Get someone that can, hit well and has hit well for a long time. And the Cardinals aren't doing a ton. They probably be looking to move on from him. But I have seen quite a bit of talk about the Yankees going for him too, which, by the way, we talk about the Yankees, how anytime their team is bad, all of Yankees Twitter is just like, we should get this guy. We should get this guy. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, I saw this one guy, like, this is like my perfect scenario. It was trade. They got like Juan Soto and I think it was Arenado for like two prospects. I'm like, that's just not. You're not gonna get that.
The Yankees just think they can buy anyone they want.
The Yankees are delusional. But the other player I started thinking about, which makes a lot more sense to me, is actually Polar Bear Pete Alonso. Because he's a first baseman. The Twins don't have that position necessarily locked up. The Mets have been bad for a while. They have supposed to be a team that's like, hey, we're going to go far. We're going to win these things. And they don't. So it's clearly not quite working out there. Pete Alonso, while being a good player, isn't necessarily the one that are going to be like, we can't get rid of this guy. We absolutely keep him. And their pitching has not been good. So with the prospects the Twins have in pitching, you could throw a couple of guys that way. You could even help maybe throw in Pablo if you really want to throw in like a starter that gets them going. Because, the Twins have a couple back end guys you could fill out the rotation with, like Ober or Blaskovich or even Maeda if you want to give him like 3 innings to work with. But, obviously you want to hold on to Pablo and trade away some prospects because the Twins are in kind of a win now mode. So getting a bat like Pete Alonso and cover up one of the first base, that's like an excellent position. And the Mets are probably in like a trade scenario in their heads. Like if they can get some prospects, why not? Because they're not in a win now mode necessarily. They're not in the position to, take off like that. So that's the player I think the Twins should get, like a hot corner guy. So Alonso works in my mind.
No, definitely. I think both of them would work. Heck, maybe they can go for both of them. Honestly, we really the Twins
third
really
and
that.
first baseman, that would be pretty baller.
They need offense, like just.
I don't even know if I have enough
desperately.
prospects you'd be wanting to get rid of for that because, obviously Royce Lewis is probably not touchable. I don't know if a team would take him because he gets hurt so much. He's good when he's not hurt though, so it could. But I don't want to get rid of Royce Lewis. That young kid, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now.
We just drafted.
Yeah, he might bring in some, players, but Twins have kind of had a bad history of trading away prospects. I feel like they don't usually do it, and when they do it, they usually end up pretty good. You could look at Brent Rooker for an example.
Well, they didn't trade David Ortiz at least, or so.
Yeah, they just saw him hit 40 bombs and said, "We're not going to re-sign you." By the way,
why would you? It's not like he was the
go
like,
ahead
most
and become
clutch.
the most clutch playoff performer of all time on a different team. We don't want you here. We're the Twins. We don't go to.
Get out of here. Ship that guy. He's too fat. We don't want him. We don't want that man.
Rest in peace.
Well,
I wish we had Miguel Sano still.
That was some good trade ideas. I think those guys would definitely benefit the team. I don't think they're out of reach by any means. I think that they're both very realistic ideas. But we got a little new segment here, and I think you'll be very excited to talk about this because it's your boy Kirk Chains, Mr. Kirk Cousins out of the Vikings. I
don't got any chains on.
No, dude, you need some chains. You need your Kirk chains on. But new film on Netflix, a little documentary featuring Pat Mahomes, Mariota, and Kirk Chains. And I just want to get some feedback from you on it because I think that's right up your alley with stuff.
Yeah, real quick. But before we talk about that, let me just.
Whoa, dude! Where'd you get those chains? Those things, that's icy,
this
man.
This is the Kirk chains.
Oh, that's your Kirk chains
right here.
Okay.
This is for Kirk, my boy.
Now you're ready.
The quarterback documentary has dropped on Netflix. If you haven't watched it yet, I do recommend you go check it out. I'm only 4 episodes deep right now out of the 8, and I'm loving it so far. The quarterbacks they picked are pretty good. I do say Marcus Mariota, interesting choice. Don't really care too much about him, but I have seen. This is a Twitter people saying this was not the official reason they did it, but they said they got Patrick Mahomes, the best of the best. Kirk Cousins, one of the middle guys in the league, and then they have Mariota, who didn't even finish the season as a starter. Could be the reason, or they just picked random 3 quarterbacks. I don't know. But it's a really interesting series if you want to watch it. It's like Shining. It's like distracting. Goes into depth in the quarterbacks' like lives and how it is to be a quarterback in the NFL. They got never seen before access into their lives. I mean, the cameras are in like Kirk Cousins' house when he's like hanging out with his family, which is crazy to see. I mean, those kids. I don't know if those kids have any idea what's going on, but
probably not.
Interesting, stuff you see there. Our boy Kirk Cousins, the Vikings quarterback. Being a part of that is one of the reasons I've started watching it, obviously. And I, maybe I'm biased. I've seen this on Twitter a lot too. He's the most interesting part of the documentary for me. I just find his story and his, the access he gave to be more interesting. Marcus Mariota is by far the worst part. I just get bored whenever he's on screen. I'm like falling asleep. They started talking about his chef because it was so boring. I don't know why we care about his chef. Patrick Mahomes segments is good, but his wife can be a bit annoying at times.
What about his brother? His brother's pretty cool.
To the first 4 episodes, I haven't seen any of his brother yet.
Didn't he get arrested? Didn't he go to jail? So. I thought he got sexually assaulting a waiter or something like that, wasn't it?
He got accused for slapping someone. I think.
Slapping.
Okay. Came from that.
Yeah, that guy is kind of ruining Pat Mahomes' legacy a little bit.
Nah, he'll be fine. But yeah, he's got interesting stuff. He had a whole clip where he got tackled by Max Crosby. I don't know if you know who that is. So defensive lineman for the Raiders, and they were getting into it. Like he was trying to fight him. Like, hey, I'm here, dude. This is what I do. And they ended up winning that game. The best part so far is I said Kirk Cousins, and we saw episode 3 just recently where he they give us in depth of the Bills game, which as Vikings fans, one of the better games that the Vikings played last year, and one of the more better games I've seen in my life as a Vikings fan. And it gave us you saw behind the scenes of like the mindset that a quarterback has in those moments, and everyone was freaking out, and it was kind of funny because even the 4th and 18 when he throws it to Jefferson and Jefferson makes that crazy catch, everyone's freaking out but Cousins. Cousins is just like, all right, we gotta go, because there's only so much time left in the game, and he's got to get everyone going. He just said, "Hey, good catch, Justin," and he just, gets them to the huddle. So it's like quarterbacks can't really take a break at all, and it really shows it because he was talking about how excited all his team was, and he just can't be that excited. He can't do those emotions like that because he's just got to think touchdown, or bust. And you can see there was a situation with Kevin O'Connell where Cousins, it was the 4th and 1 on the goal line when they were trying to get in to take the lead, and Cousins went for the sneak and didn't get it. And you find out, actually, I don't think this was ever told before. Maybe I missed an interview, but Kevin O'Connell did not call that play. Cousins called that himself just because he couldn't hear through the headset, and he just said, "Hey, quarterback sneak on a smooth 2." They didn't get in, and O'Connell was pretty upset with them on the sideline. He wasn't like yelling upset or anything, but he was saying like, "Hey, you should have just trusted me. Let me call a timeout. I could have got you a better formation," because he would have done a sneak too, I'm sure, but you could have like the fullback into to push or promote something like that. And you could see Cousins just being upset with like himself and how it went. And like, that play could have changed the Viking season. Kevin O'Connell says it himself. That could have changed the whole season. They ended up winning the game on a crazy, fumble in the end zone by Josh Allen and a pick by Patrick Peterson. But even the you see in the overtime, Cousins is still like, they get down and then he gets sacked and they have to kick a field goal. And he's upset about that because like the way the Bills offense has been going, they can just go and score. Now we might lose. And even after, Patrick Peterson picked him off to win the game for the Vikings, Kirk was still kind of in that mood where it's like, I just can't feel like I can celebrate because I didn't do enough in his mind. So like that's kind of gives you a glimpse into the Vikings quarterback and quarterbacks in general and how much stress they put on themselves. And, I think it should show Vikings fans who don't like Kirk Cousins a different side of him, because so much of the problem with Vikings fans and Cousins is he's soft. They say, or he can't win the big game, which I think is not really indicative of quarterback. It's not really fair to say, but this shows you all the hits he takes and like the stuff he goes through to get better by week to week. And, the interview states it. I mean, it's a known fact, but he was the most hit quarterback last year. So like, you can't expect someone to play one of the hardest positions in sports while constantly getting ran over by 300-pound linemen. You're going to wake up feeling like you hit a truck. So you got to be nicer to Kirk Chains, and the Vikings offensive line should be nicer to Kirk Chains. But if you want to see why, you should be nicer to a quarterback, go ahead and watch that documentary. It's on Netflix. Good stuff, really good stuff.
Yeah, right. Like, the quarterback is obviously seen as like the captain of most teams, know. And, I'll admit I'm someone who isn't always on the Kirk Cousins hype train. But but something about Kirk is that like, as long as that he's like, one of the middle of the road, maybe slightly above average quarterbacks, you got to understand that if he's that, you got to build around that and understand how to build around a guy who is like that. Because we've had one of the worst like offensive lines for a while, and we have not been able to protect Cousins. And as someone,
it's weird because we actually have two of the best tackles. Our guards are just so bad.
Yeah, it's crazy how much like a few guys can really bring down the line like that. So I don't always want to put it on Cousins. We have a tremendous offense, and I think Kirk does use our weapons pretty dang well, and our defense really wasn't that great all of last year as well. I think the score differential at the end of the season was like we were barely like positive at the end of the year after all those games. Too many games where Kirk and the offense were pulling one of them out of their butts to like, like against the Colts. That comeback was absolutely unbelievable. Like the defense is the reason why we were in that situation, and they made some decent plays on on the second half to get us back in that game. But it's a team sport. So, like I said, even though I'm not always on the Kirk Cousins hype train, I do know that, like, it's not his fault for where the Vikings land. And something that you mentioned with the Jefferson catch, I actually just thought about this on the spot. I actually want to know your opinion on what you think is more of a better catch or more iconic catch between that Jefferson catch against the Bills and Diggs' catch against the New Orleans Saints, the Minneapolis Miracle. You know,
I mean, iconic. It's got to be the Minneapolis
right.
Miracle gets a playoff win. One of the craziest moments in sports history. But obviously, a harder catch was the Justin Jefferson one, no doubt about it. I
Right,
mean,
and that guy who was trying to lay the tackle on Diggs, that guy was a rookie, right? He made a
mhm.
huge mistake trying to lay out Diggs while he's up in the air to make that catch. Diggs' catch wasn't that all that more impressive. It was just a greater moment. But that's the thing, is that Jefferson's moment is as good because what was it,
He
fourth
did
and
win Play of the Year, I think, something like
yeah,
that.
it was fourth down, and Kirk just threw one up, and Jefferson just made an unbelievable catch, just an outstanding catch. Like, definitely better skill wise than Diggs was in the Minneapolis Miracle, but like, both, as iconic as each other. It's just the other one's going to beat it out a bit more because it's in playoffs and it was a game winning touchdown. But I think they're a bit more on the
Fun
same level
fact.
you think.
Fun fact about that Minneapolis Miracle: Marcus Williams, the safety who tried to make the tackle, actually has me blocked on Instagram because I think after that game, I DM'd him, say, "Nice tackle, man." I guess he didn't
He
appreciate that,
wasn't
and I
having
got
that.
blocked. Marcus Williams, if you happen to see this, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're not sorry. Yeah, that's how you stop cyberbullying. Just he stopped Justin from cyberbullying him. He just hit the block button. So
He got me, dude. But
yeah, he did get you.
just gonna real quickly.
Dude, your chain's gone. What happened?
Yeah, Kirk Chain's gone. I
Oh,
figured
Kirk
it was
Oh,
time
okay.
to, we're
Unbelievable.
not talking about the Vikings anymore. And before we get into the games, which I'm sure is everyone's favorite part,
I love
is
games.
this
I
segment,
love
I
games.
do have a little thing to spring on you. I'm gonna throw the picture in here, and then uh, Messi, one of the best soccer players to ever play, is now playing in America. MLS. I think he's playing for Miami.
Inter
I think is where he
Miami.
went.
Yep.
There was recently a couple of videos and pictures of him shopping, and nobody in the store recognized him. Like, he was just
Really
walking around a Publix or whatever they're
interesting.
called, I think, with a cart, and nobody he wasn't getting mobbed by fans. And you see that when he's playing overseas, people are like surrounding him whenever
Right.
he goes out. He can't get anywhere. So, what do you think? Do you think that'll change, or do you think it's just how little Americans can care about soccer at times, or do
Well, we
you think maybe he
obviously.
just looks like a normal guy?
Yeah, we really. He's got a pretty distinguished look, I feel like, but soccer is just not that big here. I don't even know if I would consider it one of like the four major sports in America.
No, absolutely
So
not.
it probably cracks number five, but the top four,
Yeah.
football, hockey, baseball, and basketball. I feel like those are the top four here in America, and I feel like, even though like I feel like our country is pretty patriotic the way we are with, Team USA and the World Cup and, that kind of stuff, we're always supporting our country no matter what the sport is. But it's just never something that I don't think that USA has just ever really cared about that much. So, and maybe, and since it's something we don't care about, people don't really get that news maybe as much. And even the people that do, since they don't pay attention to it anyways, they wouldn't even think twice if they saw Messi
Yeah.
walking down an IKEA getting furniture or something, or he's in the Mall of America or whatever. I don't think anyone's really thinking twice if they see Messi walk past them. It's like, hey, that guy looked like Messi.
Yeah, I'd probably be like,
News,
"Those are the soccer player, don't
newsflash, it was
Weird.
Messi. So
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So, in other news, Brittany Griner dunked in the WNBA All Star game. That's pretty baller, huh?
Oh, sorry, Brittany Griner. Yeah. Best female dunker of all time.
Probably can't dispute that.
I
I
don't.
don't know
That's
a
like
ton of the other ones.
the only equivalent you could say is like Wayne Gretzky being the GOAT. Like, that's essentially
Maybe
the same
I'm a little
thing.
biased. Like, Maya Moore was probably cooler dunker. Just because, shout out Lynx. Shout out Lynx on God.
I do like the Lynx.
All right, and now if I recall correctly, you have a little challenge from me since I had some challenges for you last time.
I will not be the only one who will look like an idiot on this podcast, sir. So, last episode,
Hey, don't doubt me. Maybe I got this.
We'll see. Who knows? There are some weird ones on the T-Wolves one. If you guys don't remember last week, Justin gave me Chat GPT's top 10 T-Wolves players in franchise history.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting few guys on there. Two guys we literally had no idea who the heck they were.
Well,
and
I knew Tom Gugliotta, but I didn't know.
It did sound a bit more familiar as we talked a bit more about him.
I know Gugliotta from 2K. He's on my teams usually.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, there's that guy, and then Jimmy Butler was on there as well, kind of a weird pick. So I'm gonna pull up a ChatGPT for the Vikings top 10 because Justin's a huge Vikings guy. So we're going to see what Justin can figure from this. So I'm going to type it in real quick.
I'm going to throw it on screen right now.
Yep, thank you
so
very
you guys
much.
can see it.
Right.
You guys can see quickly what it looks like, so you can see how dumb I am if I don't get these right. Honestly, I'm a little nervous for this one because I feel like football is a lot harder than basketball because there's so many positions, and it's hard to think what would they consider, a top player, right? Because like there could be an offensive lineman on there. I don't know. Would they consider an offensive lineman better than any of the wide receivers? Beats me.
Right, like does Jarrett Allen somehow end up cracking like this list? I haven't hit enter yet, so like, how does that someone like that even like crack this list? Because he was a great player for the Vikings, but like, does he really make this list as like a on the line or something like that? So we're gonna see what ChatGPT thinks.
Same rules Sam got. I get 3 strikes here. Hints are to Sam's discretion. He might not know a lot of these guys, so he might not be able to give me the best hints. So we're gonna see. Do you have the list pulled up?
Yeah, it's generating for sure. A few names are guys that I definitely know, and if I don't know some of these guys, this name looks like one of those like D's these nuts kind of names.
These nuts.
Looks like kind of like one of those names if you'd but I know one, two.
Weird idea, but
yeah, I know 2 of these guys. Maybe I should know more. They do have position as well. So
they have position?
They do write position afterwards. Okay. You'll have to help me on that as well because I do not know football that very well. So you may start. It says certainly. Okay. Here's a list of the top 10 Minnesota Vikings players in franchise history. So
I'm gonna go swinging right away. Fran Tarkenton's got to be on here.
Fran Tarkenton is number 1 at the QB spot. Okay,
that makes sense. Adrian Peterson has to be on here.
He is in the number 4.
Okay, 4. Yeah. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Is Chris Carter on this list?
Chris Carter, wide receiver at number 5. He crashed the top 5.
Moss has to make
Randy
the list
Moss
too,
does
right?
indeed make this list. It would be a disgrace of a list, and Randy Moss did not make this list. He is at number 3.
At 3. So I got 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes,
I'm missing 2.
Yes, you are.
I'm missing number 2.
This is not a person I know.
I don't think it'll be number 2, but is Dolman on this list? Is Chris Dolman on this list?
Chris Dolman. I am not seeing that name on this list.
No Dolman. Interesting.
That appears to be your first strike.
Yep. Oh, is John Randall on this list?
John Randall. Yes, he is. He's in the 6th spot.
Okay, so I'm still missing number 2. That's an interesting one. I don't know why I can't think of that. I feel like people are going to be upset.
And since you gave me a few like kind of little hint knocker ones, on the line, if you want something like that, I can try to give you one of those in one of the spots.
Paul Krause on this list?
I was just looking at that name thinking you just said it a moment before, and I was like, wait, is that what he said and I missed it? No. Paul Krause is on this list at number 9.
Okay. Fun fact, he's the all-time NFL leader in interceptions, I believe.
With 81.
Yeah.
Good on you. Good on you, man. So you have 1, 3, 4, 5, and 9, I believe.
I have 6. Wasn't 6 John Randall?
Yes, it was. You are correct. Okay. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9.
And 9. Interesting. Carl Eller on this list.
Yes, he is. Number 8, Carl Eller.
8, one of the Purple People Eaters.
On the DL.
Oh, man. I don't know if any of the other
Well, I'll tell you what. You're definitely doing a better job on this than I did with the Wolvies. So good on you for that. You only have earned 1 strike.
Is Robert Smith on this list?
Robert Smith is not on this list. So there's your second strike.
Oh, man. Second Viking. I should know the number 2 Viking of all time.
I'm going to start holding up X's like on the Family Feud on the other side. And just looking at the guy. They got 2 X's on the other side. Like, exit. You're not going to get it. We're going to get it.
The second Viking of all time. Man. Can you give me like a little hint here?
Well, I did hear you mutter earlier that you're going to hold off on the Purple People Eater, but this is mentioned in this description of this player, and this player is in the number 2.
Okay, so it's not Carl because I got him. Why can't I think of him? He's right there. I know what he looks like. I can't think of his name.
This is interesting. He was the first defensive player to win the NFL Most Valuable Player.
Hmm.
If that gives you any sort of
I know
leverage.
who. I can't think of his name.
But you think you got him in your mind. You're looking at him.
Yeah. Oh, Page. It's Page.
Alan
It is
Page is on
It
there
is
at number
Alan
2.
Page.
Yep, you are
Yes.
correct. So you have
Shout out Alan Page.
number 7, and then you
Mhm.
have number 10. 7 is a very
Okay.
weird name.
Oh my gosh. Is it Mike Tinglehoff?
It is Mick Tinglehoff. You are correct. He is number 7 on this
okay.
list, and all you have is number 10. Wow, guys, I look like a scrub.
Tinglehoff.
I look like a scrub from
When
the
you
last
right
episode
away
now.
when you said D's nuts, I thought of Tinglehoff, and I'm like, there's no way that he's. I guess, yeah, you can say that.
That's
Number
what it
10
seems like
is
to me.
left. Oh my gosh.
And
Number 10.
there's a lot of guys you could probably slip right into the
Gosh.
10 spot.
Can I get the side of the ball he's on? Can I get that?
He
answer?
is on the defensive side of the ball.
Defensive side of the ball.
Unless I'm stupid, I don't read positions correctly, which is very possible.
Trying to think. We already got.
I think I'm doing okay. Tinglehoff is center, is it?
Yeah.
So that's on the offensive. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
John Sullivan could have made it over him, honestly. Maybe that's a hot take. Sorry, Vikings fans out there.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with you.
Oh my gosh, defensive player. You did mention Jared Allen. That's in my head. Kevin Williams is there too. Any corners? I don't think any corners, unless it's Winfield. But I don't think Winfield would have made it. Harrison Smith probably belongs up there. I don't know if it's him. Gosh, that should be a talk. We should talk about. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Hot take.
Gosh, I'm gonna say Kevin Williams.
That is incorrect. Your
is
number 10 is Jim Marshall.
Okay, he was in the Pro People later. Yeah, I could have got.
He holds the NFL record for most consecutive starts with 270.
It should be Harrison Smith. He should be one of the best safeties of all time. Look at the stats. He is right up there with Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins and all those stats. He is significantly one of the most overrated. I'm going to throw this graphic I saw. Boom. You guys just saw that graphic. It shows you, I mean, I'll even start reading that on my phone right now, right now.
Please educate us right now on the spot.
So Harry the Hitman, Minnesota Vikings safety, one of the legends, he's played 159 games, right? That is no more than Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, or Brian Dawkins, who have all played more games. Actually, Troy Polamalu has one less, but everyone else has more. So just keep that in mind for these stats that I'm about to say, right? Harrison Smith has more interceptions than Troy Polamalu, who's in the Hall of Fame, by the way. He has, less forced fumbles than those guys. He's got more fumble recoveries than Troy Polamalu. He has more touchdowns than Brian Dawkins. And he also has more sacks than Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed in less games. In pass defense, he does not have as much as these guys. He has played. Ed Reed's played 174 games, which is almost 2 more seasons, and Brian Dawkins has played 224 games. So, but Harrison Smith also has 946 tackles. Troy Polamalu has 778, and Ed Reed has 643. So in 15 more games, Ed Reed has 300 less tackles, and Troy Polamalu in one less game has like almost 200 less tackles than him. So I rest my case. Those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Harrison Smith, when he retires, should be in the Hall of Fame, and if he is not, screw you, NFL. Shout out my boy Harrison Smith.
All I know is Justin Jefferson should be in the top 10 list here that ChatGPT wrote.
True, but like the same disclaimer we have for the Timberwolves one,
right.
It was after 2021, the resources, so he is not going to be on there. He will be eventually, but
yeah.
Even the thing is, though, with wide receivers, he wouldn't crack the top 5 wide receivers right now with his stats. I mean, the Vikings have had a plethora of good wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to, Randy Moss, Chris Carter, even Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Aaron Carter.
Give him time.
He'll be there. I think he'll be fine.
He'll be up there, and he may stand alone at the top, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good chance. He's got some
I
tough
feel like
competition with Moss and
it'll be
Carter.
an easy climb for a little bit, but then when you get that Randy Moss, it's like, ooh, that's the final boss. That's the final boss in that game. Yeah. It's gonna be a little tough climb for Jefferson there, but he'll be up there. He'll be there, no doubt.
All right, guys, so we're gonna try our hand at this NBA crossover grid. Last week, as you know, we didn't do the best. It wasn't the worst. We got 8 out of 9, but it took us a long time. What you saw was very edited.
This is redemption.
Footage.
Okay, this is redemption.
This is redemption time. Looking at this right now, I see one off the bat. Grizzlies Spurs, Gorgie Jang.
Grizzlies Spurs, yes, very good one.
Which
Timberwolves legend, honestly.
This ball right here in the cubby is signed by Gorgie Jang.
Oh, the legend Gorgie Jang.
So shout out my boy Gorgie Jang.
And I'm seeing one with the Lakers and Spurs because you mentioned this in the last one because you were talking about Lonnie Walker. You're like, oh no, he went to the Lakers. Well,
shout out Lonnie Walker.
What do we have here?
1, 2, 3, 4th. Shout out Lonnie Walker, the 4th.
So there he is.
Where's that 5? I don't know Roman numerals. Actually.
When the lower number comes first, it subtracts. So
okay.
I don't know. So we got Lonnie Walker here. That's
I think the 2-time false MVP, hot take, Steve Nash belongs for the Mavs and the Lakers.
And the Mavs, you're absolutely correct.
The Laker Kobe Bryant was robbed of 2 MVPs. I will not be.
He is kind of a legend.
A little different of that. Hey, speaking of Timber Kitties like Gorgie Jang, we got at least one with Malik Beasley there for the Jazz and Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Sure do. You sure? Oh, whoops, I can't. Oh, whoa, I can't spell. Malik Beasley, the man. And then actually looking at the Jazz as well and the Grizzlies, we got Mr. Mike Conley.
Oh, Minnesota Mike.
We got another Minnesota. Mike. We got another Timberwolf. Why am I typing Minnesota? What the heck?
Because Minnesota Mike. That should just be his name in here.
It really should be. We got Mike Conley. There we go. So, hey, doing way better than the last time.
This is a true statement. So we got Rockets now. I can't think of any Rockets players that fit these descriptions off dome. I'm trying to think of random Rockets players.
Rockets Spurs intrigues me. Marc Gasol went to Toronto after. Is Marc Gasol still in the league?
Lakers? No, he retired. He retired with the Lakers if they won a chip, I think. Oh, T-Mac.
Spurs and Rockets. I feel like you mentioned that in the last one as well because we had both Rockets and Spurs, but I think they were on the
T-Mac played for the Spurs because he could have won a championship, but LeBron beat them, so he never got his ring. So
Tracy McGrady, huh? Boom, bada bing,
baby.
A lot of people out of that one. So, but hey, we got 8% on this one. We got 2% on this one. We're thinking a little bit outside the box. I wonder why Steve Nash was 29% on this one. Who would have been the other guy you would have thought of in this situation?
There was JaVale McGee. He works.
Yeah, I guess that's a lot more recent, so maybe that would have been fresh in people's minds. Hey, we got a chance at a perfect game here, so we gotta get this.
So we can hold off on Vince Carter. What are some Jazz players?
Rockets and Jazz.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like a big man would fit that description best, but I can't think of one off the top of
my head. What about Kelly Olynyk play for the Rockets?
I don't think so.
What about that? Was it Ryan Anderson?
He was a Pelican and a Rocket. I don't think he
Pelican.
Did PG Tucker play for the Mavs?
For the Mavs. When he was with the Rockets. Did he go play with the Bucks? Did he win a ring with Giannis? I don't know if he played for the Mavericks.
Trying to think of those James Harden Rockets teams.
Oh, wasn't Christian Wood with the Rockets first?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then he went to them.
He was. I knew there was a big man for the Rockets that played for the Mavs. I was thinking that in my head.
Christian Wood, right? Christian, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christian Wood.
Nice. Please don't tell us we're dumb. Okay. I'll take that. 35%. Not too bad.
I think Dwight Powell or Vince Carter worked for that Mavs Grizzlies one.
You want to risk it for the biscuit? I feel like Vince is right.
We could try Vince. We'll just try Vince. We might crash and burn here. If you're yelling at us, no, I'm sorry.
Boom! Let's
Yes!
go.
I
Let's
knew
go. We
it,
gotta
dude.
get. Come on. We gotta get the 9 for 9. We got this.
Okay.
Rockets and Jazz. Gotta put our thinking caps on. Everyone, put your thinking caps on with us. Start thinking.
I'm thinking so hard right now.
I am. My brain is being washed right now, but not like brainwash in a bad way. But I'm cleaning my brain right now.
I'm smooth brained right
Bring
now.
it.
So
I replaced my brain with a basketball. Okay, so I'm only thinking basketball right now.
6.5 hours later.
I think Jeff Green works. I'm pretty honest. I think Jeff Green might work here.
Are we sending it?
Might as well. We got nothing clearly.
Where do we go, Ish Smith?
I'd go Jeff Green. Actually, maybe go Ish Smith. He played for the Rockets. We know Jeff Green played for the Rockets. I don't know if Ish Smith played.
See,
for
that's the thing is that we don't know if Ish Smith played for either of
Just
these
send
teams.
Jeff Green. We'll see.
Jeffy, praying to the basketball gods that Jeff Green will give us a 9 for 9. Let's go! Jeff Green clutch the 9 for 9. We got it. We redeemed ourselves from the last episode.
Gosh, and he was at 33%. We were just sitting there stressing about it.
I mean, that's not as bad. I mean, hey, come on. We got Gorgie at 2.9. We got Malik. I wonder what people put for this one. I'm actually very curious.
All right, guys. So to end this episode off, we're gonna do this little competitive thing, which will be decided by people that want to go ahead and comment or just think about it in your head. We'll think about it in our own heads. We're gonna do an all-time Timberwolves draft versus each other. I'm not gonna snake draft it, just one after the other. We'll take our picks.
Should I flip a coin? Determine who goes first. We'll flip a coin. You can call it as it goes.
Okay, guys, we did a coin flip off cam. Sorry, you guys don't get to see that. I won twice, so I get to go first in this all-time Timberwolves draft we're gonna do. We are doing it in terms of like all-time Timberwolves players. So like it's like Chauncey Billups played for the Timberwolves, but he's not gonna be the point guard because he sucked when he was here. So it's gonna be who has the better team all time. We can think in our head. You guys can think it or comment down below, whatever you want. So we're gonna start out with my number one overall pick. To no one's surprise, I will be taking Kevin Garnett. I think that's pretty obvious, pretty easy. So yeah, there's Kevin Garnett.
All right,
for my number one pick.
I'm taking a guy who's gonna crack this list eventually. I'm bringing Anthony Edwards. This guy's already a dog.
Okay.
He's running my 2.
Then, I'm gonna go ahead and do the experiment the Timberwolves could not get done right now, but I'm bringing in Karl-Anthony Towns to be my 4. So I got him at the 4. Oh, Katie's rocking at the 5.
I think I just gotta go with who's gonna be the next best player. I think I'll take Kevin Love here.
Okay.
He's gonna, he was a dog at time. He had some pretty crazy rebounding games. He can stretch the floor for Eddie boy. So I'll go with K Love.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we get to the after those 4. We get
now
to the
everyone is who? Who is that guy? It
becomes a little tricky. Man. Who do I go with here? I'm gonna get my point guard locked up, and I'm taking Sam Cassell. Cassell.
Okay. Do I lock up my point guard spot too? Do I go for fit, or do I try to get another good player in this mix? Who else was on that list? You know what? I think we'll get some good perimeter D and some good slashing and a little shooting. I think I'll take Andrew Wiggins. He can score the ball as well.
That was gonna be my next pick. I was debating between
I feel like if I give you Cat, KG, and Wiggins, I'm like, God, that'd be too good of a team. I feel like
that's what I was thinking of taking. Like, I need a point guard to make it all. So
I was thinking about point guard too, but I think I got to go with best player next.
Who's not a good Timberwolves? I need a 2 and a 3. You know what? This is kind of maybe a little bias, maybe recency bias. Just a defensive monster. I'm taking Jaden McDaniels.
Okay, I thought about that too. For sure.
A lot of length with Jaden Cat and KG.
God, I don't think we consider him all time. I think I'll lock up the 1. I think I'll get a good facilitator, a guy who's not going to be too ball dominant and take the ball away from Eddie. I'm going to take Ricky Rubio.
Wow, that's an L right there. You just took an L. I'm telling Sam Cassell to back off and just double everyone else. Like we need a bot in 2K.
Nah, Ricky knows how to space he knows how to pass the ball.
Who do I want to take as my shooting guard? You want to know what? I'm getting a sniper who can put up 50 points any given time. Give me Kevin Martin, the quick drop dunk extraordinaire.
Okay. And
I got a
then
solid starting lineup right
I
now.
think I
Maybe
need a
he could be
5.
replaced if I.
Or do I put Kevin Love at the 5? I feel like I gotta find a different 5. But who else is a 5 that was on the Wolvies? Oh Lord, forgive me. God, Timberwolves are just full of a bunch of who's.
Who?
Who? Who? Oh no. What do I do? You know what? Screw it. We're putting Love. Putting Love at the 5, and for the memes, bring me Nas Reed at the 4. Nas Reed on KG is gonna be straight food. KG's gonna eat, but
So
for
these
the
are our
memes,
starting
it's Nas
lineups.
Reed.
I'm gonna put them on the screen for you guys to see real quick. Starting lineups. Moving to the bench, we'll just do we'll do like maybe 4 or 5 bench guys. We'll figure out if we can't think of anyone after 4. We'll just call it at that. But I've always been a big component that the backup center is a very important piece to have. So I'm going with a guy who can crash the boards and can score on a lot of different players. Give me Nikola Pekovic.
Okay. Oh, probably a guy I should have taken originally in my draft, but I think he'll cook some of these some of these bench guys. Give me Wally. Give me Wally World, Wally Zerbiak.
All these herbs, yeah.
Yeah, he'll
I couldn't
stretch
think
the
of him
floor
over
too.
Kmart. I didn't think about that. But
Yeah, I
Kmart's,
didn't think about it either.
sniper.
I just thought back to the top 10 Wolves list that we did.
Okay. Let's see. Backup point guard's pretty essential too. You do need a backup point guard. So give me Terrell Brandon. Shout out Terrell Brandon.
Gosh, and
All-star, 2-time All-star, I think. So
for the
must be
memes
doing
then,
something right.
do I take Tom Gugliotta to back up the center position?
Do we have the whole top 10 on these teams now at this point?
No, Jimmy Butler's not on any of our teams.
Boo!
Jimmy Butler is not on our teams.
That's a good talent to have, but who on the Timberwolves has talent? That's the real question.
I don't even know any other point guard I could pick up off my bench.
Man, you want to know what? This is a real solid grit guy. Plays good energy defense, and he can't drop 50. Give me Corey Brewer.
God, I thought about it too. And as I thought about Corey Brewer's when I thought about Wally, I'm like, Wally's probably a bit more consistent on a nightly basis. So I'll take Wally over that. Corey Brewer's definitely one for sure. God, who else? Ooh. Do we consider him all time? Is Corey Brewer considered all time even though he's a T-Wolf?
We drafted him. He played it for like 7 years.
You know what? This man's gonna cook off the bench. Give me dunk contest champion. Give me Zach LaVine.
Oh, you didn't take what I thought you were gonna take.
How did he fall? But God, I don't know. Sometimes you
give
don't
me
think
the give me the ultimate bench score of all time. Give me Jamal Crawford, dude.
Oh, Jamal.
Put me in Jamal Crawford.
Okay, now we're really just going like anyone who played for the Wolves at this point.
Well, these are our bench guys, I mean, Jamal Crawford, probably one of the better bench players Timberwolves ever had.
Well,
so I got my 1, my 2, my 3, and my 5 locked up on the bench. So now this is your 4th pick. So yeah, we get man.
I got a center. I got Wally. I got Zach LaVine. Who the heck is any other backup point guard? Like hell, I'm taking Jeff Teague to back up my point. God, but he might be the next best guy.
Tyus? You count Tyus?
Tyus is Minnesota native.
Giving freebies out there for you.
Heck, I might start Tyus over freaking Ricky Rubio and put Ricky on the bench. Yeah, give me Tyus. I like Tyus. Okay. Tyus is smart, man. Smart guy.
I need another backup big.
I need a 3.
To go with Peck.
I think Wally can play the 4.
Well, it's a big cat of Timberwolves have had that's been pretty good. Give me Al Jefferson.
See, now we started going like any guy. I thought about Rudy Gobert just to try to.
I didn't even think about Rudy.
Right? I was like, dude, I need someone to lock up KG. I was like, can I take Rudy?
Rudy Gobert. I think Al Jefferson played here for like 4 years, didn't he? So he's
you know what? Frick it. Give me Rudy off the bench. Rudy's gonna
he's
feast.
Getting dogged. Dude.
Nah, dude. Rudy's gonna feast. We're gonna put Wally at the 3. It's gonna be nuts.
Rudy's getting toasted.
It's a nuts team.
Well,
and
all right. Oh, a coach? We're picking a coach?
Saunders not allowed.
Give me Rick Adelman.
Give me Ryan Saunders. Screw it.
Yeah, you're done. You lost. You lost the game.
Nah, dude. Ant's dropping 40 per game in this series.
Gosh, maybe one day we should put these teams into 2K
In the
and
2K?
see who comes out on top.
Probably
Give them
yours.
the
Cat's
best.
kind of a monster in 2K simulation.
Give them the best 2K Timberwolves ratings these players ever had, and then put them into a game and see what happens. Guys, let me know who's winning this bout. Personally, I think I'm winning this pretty off dome. I don't think he's got anyone that can guard KG, much less Cat. Gobert's
Cat
getting
takes
torched.
himself out of the playoffs. He takes himself out of the playoffs.
Gobert's getting torched. Even on the bench, I got Peck and Al Jefferson, two just dominant post scorers. That's
Wally, dude, Zach LaVine off the bench can kind of go to town.
Jamal Crawford's cooking him. No one can guard him.
Nah, Zach LaVine's him.
Corey Brewer might drop 50.
He's just gonna jump over him.
Well, guys, that should do it for this episode of the pod. Unless Sam, you got any more revelations you're trying to drop on us?
I ain't got nothing. I promise the Nas Reed J's coming. It'll be here.
It better be coming. If it's not here soon,
dude, I'll be as upset as anyone else will be. I want my Nas Reed jersey. I want him on my back.
Shout out Nas Reed for real.
I love Nas.
But Cat's better. And with that note, we're gonna end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stuck around through this, again, make sure to hit like or subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time.